This last year, looking back at the organization, I'm most proud of the people, the donors, the volunteers, the staff, the partners, the community as a whole. You know, our donors, our grantors, they make the work possible. Our volunteers, our staff, they actually do the work. Our partners, they help us see vision, see landscape wide. This last year, we've taken on more complex projects, more capacity. But the neat thing is we haven't lost the value.
Over the course of 2025, we had a lot of amazing wins for fundraising for the Tahoe Rim Trail Association, including our biggest year-end campaign ever, raising over $200,000 to support our programs. We also had an incredible Raise the Rim peer-to-peer fundraiser in August, bringing in the most participants and the most unique supporters, bringing in a whole slew of new donors to our organization. All of these wins were really impactful to our mission, but what was more important to me was all of the new people and new passion that came into our organization. People who are inspired to support the trail and did that through financial channels.
I think it's easy to look at a lot of our projects and get pretty excited, but I'm always most proud of the underappreciated work in the background. And specifically, I'll say clearing 600 trees off the trail last year was an awesome accomplishment. I'm most proud of everyone out there who did it.
One moment that really stands out for me this year, well, quite frankly, the entire year has been a success. But if I had to choose one, which I have to, I think it'd be the kiosk installation on the Nevada side. We installed 7 brand new kiosks. And what's neat about these kiosks is they're not just signage. They speak to educate. They speak to welcome. They speak of the community and the support that happens when agency partners, donors, grantors, volunteers, staff come together for an actual life-lasting boots-on-the-ground project like these kiosks.
There isn't just one moment that sticks with me over the course of this past year. Outreach is about thousands of moments and thousands of interactions that we have with trail users and community members. It's hearing about an interaction that a thru hiker had with an ambassador that lifted their spirits and they were able to make the miles for that day that they had planned. It's talking to somebody for the first time, their first interaction with us at a tabling event, and they learn the depth of what our organization does. The youth programs, the guided programs, the boots on the ground, the trail crews, building the actual trails. It's the culmination of all of those things coming together that really make the moment and the magic of each thing. So not just one moment, it's all of it.
National Trails Day really sticks out for me. It's my first one with the organization, and it didn't disappoint. Seeing that many people come out to improve our trail was pretty special.
Cool. For me, this year, watching the segment hikers throughout their program form really great friendships was a super, super cool way to see the impact of these programs, because I dropped them off for their first hike and then checked in with them virtually throughout their couple-month-long program, but then I was also there in person for their final hike, and I saw that they were a completely different group of people in terms of being really good friends and having inside jokes, having shared this big experience and completing this big goal together.
And one that's kind of standing out now that really, I think, highlights so many things is it was one of the last camps of the season, and my instructor came back, and we always do debriefs, and he was sharing a little bit of the story and relationship building that he was doing with this one particular camper who was really apprehensive about the whole experience, really shy, wasn't really participating with the rest of the group or bonding with the nature or even other community members. And my instructor was surprised by the end of the trip. They were walking back, and my instructor had been making extra effort to kind of hang out with this kid. And on the hike back out to the trailhead on the last day, this youth kind of just started talking randomly about how much they wanted to spend more time in nature, and that maybe they could be more open-minded about other people's experiences and just kind of understand that even if they're different from other people, they have something to learn from them. And I think that both of those things really highlight the power of these trips for kids.
Our programs are intentionally designed to work together in our system. We have our trail operations that enhances the trail and provides you a world-class experience nearly every time you step foot or tire or hoof out on the trail. Our education and guided programs build on that by teaching responsible recreation, while our volunteer programs create a strong stewardship and community that actively cares for one another and the trail. And then you add in our donors, our grantors. Without those partnerships, it wouldn't be able to happen. And by all of those coming together, it really creates a holistic approach to how we continue to see the Rim Trail as we do today and for generations to come.
I think what makes the membership community unique is that the TRT is a very place-based system. It exists around Tahoe, and yet we have people from all over the world and all over the country who feel touched by it and want to give back to it.
Support from our members and donors makes a huge impact on our organization and allows us to carry out important work. Support from those donors and members helps us buy meals for our backcountry camp program. It helps us to coordinate, support, and train our amazing volunteer force. It helps give scholarships to get teens out on the trail connecting with nature for likely the first time ever. And it also helps us in our community by inspiring our community to become better stewards of the trail through our Trail Talks program and all of the educational information that we put out.
I think that our youth programs, whether it's our youth backcountry camps or in-school Leave No Trace programs and field trips after school clubs, all the things we've been doing and hope to build are critical to the Tahoe Rim Trail and our association for a lot of reasons. Youth are the future of this association, of stewards of our trail, of just general earth stewards. And so by supporting them to have beautiful, healthy, expansive nature experiences is critical to the future of this trail's existence and honestly the health of our communities and our ecosystems that we all rely on.
I think it's really unique that the Tahoe Rim Trail Association has youth programs as a trail organization. It's not something that you commonly see. And I really love that we can take the stewardship mindset of protecting and preserving and maintaining this trail and use it as a mode of getting folks outside at all seasons and hopes that they are going to appreciate and love the natural environment that it takes you through, so that way that they are going to play a role in protecting and maintaining it for all the years to come.
Our guided public hikes with outside organizations such as the Sugar Pine Foundation or TINS are really great examples of programs that can help people gain a deeper connection to the trail and the Tahoe Basin in general by learning about ecology from an expert on their afternoon hike or a couple hours of hiking. This often sparks curiosity and just better understanding of where we are living or visiting or recreating, and then they can take that deeper connection with them throughout their other hikes in the basin or wherever they go after that.
I spent a lot of my time in the background this year planning our next big project. This upcoming summer, we're starting a 3-year project at Tahoe Meadows working on the interpretive loop, and by the end, we'll have created the first natural surface accessible trail in the Tahoe area and reconnecting some wetlands while we're at it.
Both in youth programs and just as I've been promoted into outdoor programs director this year, I'm just excited to support the team of both our youth programs and our trail use department to just create more sustainability in our programs, maintain the integrity of the awesome trail experiences we provide for youth and adults, and support and mentor instructors, managers, volunteers to be the best support team we can be for folks to connect to nature through community and on-trail outdoor experiences.
As I step into this role for the summer of 2026, I'm most looking forward to seeing our programs in action. I've heard a lot about the youth programs and the backcountry camps that we offer to the youth in the Tahoe Basin and the greater California, Nevada area, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these programs run and seeing how our instructors handle taking these youth out into the field and seeing the great memories and experiences that the youth are going to make this summer.
I really hope to support members and volunteers in being seen through the organization. I know volunteering and membership can sometimes be a very behind-the-scenes thing, but I'd really love to create spaces and opportunities for each person to feel seen and witnessed by the organization and recognized for all that they do for us.
I am really looking forward to working with new and different organizations in this year ahead for single day hikes, new partnerships, as well as some pretty big, exciting plans for a citizen science-based through hike.
I'm especially excited about the 2 outreach programs that we have going through our citizen science programs. The first being with Pathways for Wildlife and NDOT in partnership to work on a feasibility study for a highway crossing that will benefit not only our trail users but also wildlife. The second being in partnership with Five Gyres. We'll be doing a macro and microplastic study on the entire Tahoe Rim Trail. Both of these projects are rooted in having our community experience the trail and the Tahoe Basin through a completely different lens, rooted in curiosity and stewardship and deeper exploration. And we hope that our community joins us in that exploration.
Well, I'm excited about the big picture progress we're making on safety, connectivity, long-term stewardship. This past year, we made huge, meaningful progress on a feasibility study with some amazing partners to see what it would look like to put in a wildlife and human crossing over Spooner Summit. This would be the first of its kind in its region, and it's such an incredible project to see. Conducting this feasibility study opens up the door for potential for 7 highway crossings around our major highway crossings around the Tahoe Rim Trail to ensure that animals, wildlife, their connectivity around the forest and their natural home can stay maintained, and of course human safety of crossing the roads. It would just be absolutely incredible to see. And this year also marks the 25-year anniversary of closing the loop. In 2001, we saw that 20-year vision come to an end by actually closing the loop. So I'm so excited to celebrate that with our community this year.
I think that people would be surprised at how many different types of programs we offer. We have programs that are just a couple hour long hike, but we also offer snowshoeing and skiing editions of those interpretive programs, all the way up to a through hike, with the segment hike program is in between there, as well as multi-day backpacking trips to do a section of the trail. And additionally, we also teach classes, so we have classes to help folks get into snow camping and backpacking. So there's really something for everyone.
So much goes into maintaining a trail. I don't think it's appreciated enough. You know, from clearing brush, removing down trees, to making sure water drains off the right way. It's kind of a mix of science and art. And our volunteers are out there putting thousands of hours into it every year. The trail definitely doesn't maintain itself.
One thing I hope everyone knows about me is that, working in outdoor recreation or outdoor adventure programming is something that I've studied through my bachelor's degree, and it's something that I've been pursuing for my work since graduating from college. I really am excited about the skills and mentality that I bring to this position, in hopes that it's not only going to maintain what it's been able to accomplish over the past several years, but also what we're going to be able to do going forward and be able to hopefully expand opportunities for youth going forward.
One thing I wish people understood about my role with the TRTA, that it goes beyond ambassador work, that it goes beyond tabling and outreach, that I also work deeply with partnerships and sponsorships. I work behind the scenes to create partnerships with businesses and other organizations that help build up our organization, bolster our participants in a better way, create better experiences for them, and help out our volunteers, create a better experience for them as well. For example, we've recently started working with Astral Designs, and we're creating a shoe library for our youth programs. So any one of the kids that comes to our programs and doesn't have the right pair of shoes to experience the trail in a way that makes sense, to have the best experience possible, they'll be able to rent out a pair of shoes courtesy of Astral Designs.
I want people to understand the importance of our youth programs, especially the backcountry camps. A couple things, and probably the most important thing is that many of these teens would not be able to have any type of experience like this without a camp like TRTA's Youth Backcountry Camps. Many of our campers, about 70% of them, come from backgrounds and identities that are marginalized and have access barriers to the outdoors. And TRTA has done a great job and continues to chip away at those barriers to try to include and give access to as many kids as possible. And the other part of that, no matter what background a youth is from, I think getting kids out, especially in today's day and age of technology and all these other distractions and world events, giving them a pathway towards joy, connection, community, and time away from technology, to, especially when they're in the age of, 12 to 17, with all sorts of like, who am I? Where am I going with my life? And all of these, and giving them just time to sit in a rock like I am now, to reflect, to make jokes, to observe birds, to meet people they maybe wouldn't have been friends with, but then have a really cool experience, and also build resilience through challenging experiences like hiking with a backpack and sleeping under the stars without a tent. All of that, I think, really builds a future generation that we are all going to see really cool and powerful things happen because they've had experiences like this. And sometimes it's the only experience some of these kids are going to have, and that can make a really long, life-lasting impact.
There's one thing that I want every member or donor to know about our organization, is that every gift matters. Whether it's a small monthly contribution or a major gift, you can make an impact on the Tahoe Rim Trail. Every gift is a mile that is protected on the trail. It is a volunteer that has what they need to head out and do work. It is a teen that goes into the backcountry for the first time. Every gift makes an impact, and anyone can be a part of that amazing work.
Well, getting people out, immersed in nature, is so important these days, especially. But, that said, users are increasing pretty dramatically, and the trail feels the impact. So maintaining the trail for the future is more important than ever, and that involves, sustainable preventative maintenance and trail improvement projects that we're working hard to do every year.
While we work really closely with the Forest Service and public agencies, they don't fund us. We get funded by our donors, our grantors, our programs. We have 750,000 annual users on the Tahoe Rim Trail, most of those in the summer, spring, and fall months. Less than 2% of our users give back to us. Imagine if every user that we had gave $1, or $1 every time that they set foot on the trail. That would be an automatic $750,000 raised by our community coming together and giving $1. I would love for folks to put that into perspective. And listen, the Tahoe Rim Trail exists because people care. Because the community chooses to invest in something bigger than themselves. Through volunteers, donors, staff, partners, supporters, we're not just maintaining a trail. We're shaping its future. We're thinking about long-term safety, access, wildlife connectivity, and stewardship. So this trail continues to serve wildlife, nature, and humans alike for another 25 years. When people understand that a trail truly doesn't take care of itself, which surprisingly, a lot of people still don't rather. It truly takes all of us, and that's how a trail becomes a legacy. It truly takes all of us.